And we are back, and with just 7 weeks to go in the Premier League, we hit the big fixture. The champions versus the challengers, Man City against Liverpool. It will be the last prediction on this video, as it is the last game of the game week. Plenty of other games to talk about as well. And a quick mention to another fantastic week of European football. The majority of the ties in all three competitions incredibly well poised, with the probable exception of Liverpool winning 3-1 away at Benfica. But other than that, some fantastic stuff. Another fantastic hat-trick from Benzema. 2-2 for him in the Champions League. But enough about that. We are here for the Premier League. If you're new around here, firstly, where have you been all season? But the way we do this is we run through the results for the last game week, give ourselves some points, and then we move on to the predictions. Drop a like if you do enjoy this series. Let's get into those Game Week 31 results. So, these were the fixtures that we had last week. 11 in total, of course, thanks to the Burnley-Everton game on Wednesday night. And these were the results. All in all, not the best game week for me points-wise. The Burnley-Man City result saving me, really, by getting 3 points there. We have to, of course, mention the phenomenal performance from Brentford away at Stamford Bridge, which kind of set the tone for then what happened in the Champions League as well. And I'd also like to mention Crystal Palace. I go on about Crystal Palace seemingly every week in how much I love watching them play under Vieira, and it was nice to see them finally get a standout result, which kind of proved how well they've been playing. A fantastic 3-0 win against Arsenal, which, again, sadly, I did not predict. All in all, that gave us a game week score of 7, which brings our season total up to 183. Still pushing for 200 as quickly as possible. Then we'll look ahead to a further target. But let's get in to game week 32 right now. So, we start off with a Friday night football. So, once again, this is your warning to fantasy football fans. If you are yet to do your teams, there is a game this evening, and it is Newcastle and Wolves. And unfortunately for me, I think that initial Eddie Howe bubble has finally burst. They were very, very poor against Tottenham. Looked like they could concede to every single attack. And Wolves are on a very good run of form. And considering the amount of dropped points everywhere else in this race for fourth right now, they might just be sneaking themselves in with a chance. So, with all that said, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Wolves win here. I really don't see Newcastle troubling Wolves this evening, and I fully expect them to get the result there. On to Saturday, and we start with the lunchtime kickoff, and it is Everton and Manchester United. Yeah. Really tough one to call for me, this. I currently have lost all faith in the Manchester United players after the sheer lack of effort they seem to continually put into every single match. It's currently unclear if Ronaldo and Cavani are going to be fit. It's obvious that Rashford is not in favour, and I saw yesterday that the 17-year-old Garnacho has been training with the first team, so maybe we'll see him get a run out as striker tomorrow. From the Everton side of things, again, really, really poor. They put on a fantastic display against West Ham, but then after the red card, couldn't get themselves really any chances. Ended up losing that one, and then they were so poor against Burnley. And if it wasn't for the 2 penalties, they would have lost quite comfortably. So, 2 teams that are desperately struggling for form. And I'm not going to let my Manchester United bias get the better of me this time. I'm just going to go for another 1-1 draw. Hope that we manage to get the win, but I have no faith in this at the moment. On to the 3 o'clocks, and we have Arsenal and Brighton. Arsenal in need of a good result, and I think the perfect opponents for them to be playing against. Brighton should have put away Norwich, and they weren't able to score as per the usual, despite even having a penalty. So I'm going to assume that vein of form continues. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal win here. I said I think this is the right opponent for Arsenal to be coming up against after their recent struggles. Speaking of recent struggles, we have Southampton against Chelsea. Two teams, again, desperately struggling for form. Southampton, 4 defeats and a draw in their last 5 games. Chelsea off the back of 2 rather embarrassing home defeats. So, again, kind of a really tough one to call. So, I'm just going to go down the middle. I'm going to go 2-2 for this one. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I can see it being very open. I still would expect Chelsea to win, but I just can't back them to do it right now. They looked so disorientated against Real Madrid. I can't in full confidence say they're going to win that game, so I'm going for the draw. On to Watford and Leeds. And another tough one to call, really. Even since the manager change, Leeds are very, very unpredictable. It looks like they've got Calvin Phillips back. It looks like Manchester United are trying to sign him. Not sure how I feel about that. Well, I do. I don't want him. But he will make a difference to them if he is fit and able to play. Watford, of course, playing reasonably better, but still struggling to get results. But I am going to back them to get the result here. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. On to the final game on Saturday, which sees Aston Villa come up against Tottenham. And again, another, in my opinion, very tough one to call. Would have been slightly tougher if Villa put up more resistance against Wolves. I expected them to do better. Obviously, I predicted a draw last week for that one. And Tottenham, certainly with the form that Harry Kane is in, maybe now favourites to get 4th spot. They have the easiest run of fixtures. It is in their hands if they beat Arsenal later on in the season. So for now, based on last week's results, I am going to go for a Tottenham win once again. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for them. I think they should have way too much for Aston Villa to handle. But if Villa can get their act together after last week, they will definitely cause Tottenham problems. So that's my safe prediction, is going for the Tottenham win there. On to 4 fixtures on Sunday, starting with Brentford and West Ham. And again, it's tough fixture after tough fixture this week. And Brentford, obviously off the back of their fantastic win away at Chelsea, are going to be full of confidence. West Ham have had a tough week. They will feel disappointed that they weren't able to put Everton away a lot easier than they did, and then drawing at home in the Europa League last night. I can't, again, in full confidence, very much like the Chelsea one earlier, I can't in full confidence say West Ham are going to win this game, so I'm not going to give them it. I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw here. And yeah, I don't think there's anything more I need to say about that. Again, I think it's going to be a very exciting game. And on to another game that I think is both going to be tough to call and very exciting, in Leicester and Crystal Palace. Leicester again struggled in their Europa Conference game last night, but still performed the better team at Old Trafford. Crystal Palace, off the back of their fantastic win against Arsenal, are going to be full of confidence. I think this is going to be a very open game. 2 sides that like to attack and create chances, and I see this having a lot of goals in it. And I'm going to go for 3-2 to Leicester. Definitely going for a lot of goals this week, and that will continue shortly. But before we get to those goals, we'll talk about Norwich and Burnley. A game that, again, is very tough to call, but I can't see this one being as high scoring. Are Norwich already relegated? Quite possibly. They definitely have to win this one. Whereas if Burnley win it, it makes it very awkward for the teams sitting on the edge of the relegation zone. I am actually going to give this one to Norwich. I have to think that they're not quite gone yet, so they're going to be fighting for every single point they can. I think if they don't win this game, then you probably start seeing the give up mentality when it comes to them. So this is their final hurrah, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the win here. And finally, we have the main event, not only of the weekend, but it seems of the Premier League season. We do have the champions and the challengers. It is Man City against Liverpool at the Etihad. And I'll be honest with you, I only really see this going one way. Liverpool fans might not like me for saying this, but they've not played well recently. It's just the individual quality of the players has just about been enough to win their last few games. Yes, they performed really well to beat Benfica, but Benfica aren't exactly the best team going around right now. They certainly struggled last week against Watford and against Arsenal and against a couple of other teams recently, losing to Inter Milan as well. Like, Liverpool aren't playing great right now. And I really think Man City are. So, rather controversially, I'm going to go for 4-1 Man City. I think Liverpool do what they always do. They'll send their long balls forward. They'll bring the fullbacks forward. And I just think Man City have so much quality going the other way that they'll just pick them off. Again, that might be a highly controversial opinion, and fair play to Liverpool if they manage to get the result here. It is an absolute must-win for Liverpool, and it is a must-not-lose for Man City. So whether or not that will play into Guardiola's tactics, he may be happy to settle on a draw. I don't think he will. That's not usually his mindset, but it's the sort of thing that Pep Guardiola would do in a big game because he likes to do weird things. But assuming both sides play their normal style of play, I really think City just blow Liverpool away here. So, comment down below what you think about that decision. It will obviously remain to be seen how the game plays out and how it will affect the rest of the season. And obviously, comment down below with your predictions. Drop a like if you are enjoying this series, and I will see you next week, where we'll see whether or not I have embarrassed myself with some of these predictions here. But I will see you then. Thank you very much for watching.